Well, we're coming down to the light, and I don't know how much time I have left, so I will go ahead and end this at this light and say, watchers, I really appreciate you. Please stick with the channel. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make it more fun. And anyone else who's watching, please go ahead, if you would, and subscribe. If you can't or you don't want to, that also is fine. So I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to sign off. I'm doing pretty good. I just got done getting something at Safeway I needed. I know there's different grocery stores all over. I just tend to go to Safeway more. Or if I'm on base, I go to the commissary. I always love it when I'm talking to people who've never been on a base, have no idea about military, and go, what the heck's the commissary? I go, you go to know what the grocery store is? Same thing. Just some things I can actually get cheaper off base. I'm all about trying to save a buck. Now, I'm hoping you guys can hear this. Little bike over here. I know it was a moped. I know a lot of people, oh, you know what? It's some kind of thing. I will try and give it a wave. I'm kind of laughing right now because my intercom system, whenever I get over about 20 miles an hour, is trying to tell me there's nothing to connect to. So the intercom has a problem. Hey, squirrel. So when I get going up here, I will take my hand, put it over my mouthpiece, and close that off. There we go. There are all kinds of beautiful roads all over. This is not a bad road, just too many stops for my taste. I like better out in the countryside. Now, I've got a friend who's got a difficult problem. I'm trying to think of a form of a solution. Problem is, my solution I don't think she'd like. I know her son would not like. But she's having some issues with her son. Her son is in junior high, 6th grade. And he's doing stuff that's just stupid. I don't know what the heck. But he's doing stuff like, oh, he's not going to brush his teeth. Oh, he's not going to shower. Oh, he's not going to go to school because he just doesn't feel like it. He's going to act like he doesn't know what things are and what side of the class he's in, what side of the lunch he's in, all that. Okay, he waved, but he looked like he was terrified to take his hand off of there. Well, back to what I was asking. If you've got kids that are about the 12-13 age group, are they all doing this? Is this something, you know, that's going through that age group? I mean, I told her I think it's because, you know, he spent 2 years with COVID where he didn't have to worry about anything, and he just didn't seem to care, which I find pretty sad. It could be blamed on COVID, but I'm like, hey, that's no excuse. You got a lot of stuff you got to do as a human. See what I mean? We all have things we got to do as a human. I mean, I've got to shower. If I don't shower every day, people are going to notice quick. That picks me off. If I don't brush my teeth, trust me, I will hear about it. Beyond the fact from my wife, from my friends, people I talk to on a daily basis, strangers who come in to work and I need to talk to. I need to be in the other lane, excuse me. Thank you. So I'm going to have a talk with this kid because she's a single parent. It's one of those, I didn't do stuff like that, so I don't know what's going on. I don't understand the concept. I always visualize school as a job. It's where I went to work. I dressed as professionally as possible. I don't know. All right, we are leaving Old Glory. I picked up a seat rain cover because I get tired of having the seat wet when I come out. And I'm going over here to 295 for a few miles to go up. Reason why is I'm headed home. I have work today. Now, I've been hearing people say that you have to have something to talk about whenever you're on, and I sit there and go, you know what? I talk about whatever comes to mind. Right now, I love having Apple CarPlay. I know sometimes it doesn't want to connect, so I have to go back and forth different things to make it connect. So let's turn off the boom audio, which is the Senna. Turn on the boom audio, which is the Senna. And hopefully it says connect and it comes up. If not, I will try it again. Alright, so this is connected. If it doesn't come up, life is such. Alright, if it doesn't come up, it's not the end of the world. I just like it because it tells me, you know, if there's something I need to slow down for on the highway. Now, I'm not taking the highway all the way up. I'm going to turn on the other camera when we get over that way, and I'm going to turn this one off. Well, I might keep talking for a little bit. I'm doing a quick check, make sure the mic's hooked up there. Because you guys are on the chin mount now. Let's see, I think you can probably see me. The only thing I don't like with the chin mount, with the camera's weight, it makes it so that my faceplate does not like staying up. But that be life. And 295 is moving right now, which is good. I'm only going up one exit. Up to 198 and swing towards base. So I'm going to turn on my camera. Oh, big bump. Looks like that one's on. Yep, that one is on. Now we're coming up here at the old sign. Check, make sure that it's good to cut across. Oh, not quite. She was adjusting my blind spot. That's why you don't just cut all the way across. As I said, we should have something to talk about besides just, hey, what my traffic is and what I'm doing. I rarely do. I just talk because I find it fun to talk with people, telling them what's going on. But this year there's a lot of cool things going on. Now, I do ride Harley. I've ridden many other bikes, but at the moment I am a Harley rider and a Harley owner. So this year's the 120th anniversary. A lot of people are going up to the 120th anniversary event. I ungratefully cannot afford to go to the 120th event and do my trip, which is going down towards Key West. Last year I was up at the Harley Davidson thing, so I probably won't go this year, and I'll go in 5 years for the 125th. Because that will be my retirement year if everything goes right. And that year the bike should be paid off. We hope. But we will see what we see. So, I guess what I'm talking about, what I probably should have started with is, what trips do you guys go on? Do you go to the big events? How many big events do you go to a year? How do you pay for them? Me, I've got a house I got to pay for. I got my wife's car I got to pay for. I got my beautiful bike I got to pay for. Oh yeah, I love that 120, but I'm not buying the 120th anniversary. If anything happened to it, I'd feel miserable. And it's going to get scratched if I own it. Because I ride my bikes and I ride them hard. I put miles on them. I don't do anything wrong with a bike, but I put miles on it, and the average rider is afraid of miles. I could go out right now and buy a number of these. You know, this is a 2022. I could go out and buy them with, you know, 2,000 to 5,000 miles. No problem. I could buy a brand new one right now still. I could buy a 2020 with 2,000 to 5,000 miles, and that would be very easy to do. I'd be able to find those all day. I'm over 23,000 miles. I ride my bike. I have the type of job where I can, you know, take it and feel happy with it out there. If I want, I can put it in the garage, because there's a garage at work. But going home and there, whatever the weather is what the weather is. And that's part of why I wanted that seat, is I've lately got caught out in the rain, so I'm like, I want a rain cover for the seat, so if I'm doing that, the seat's dry. So all I gotta do is wipe the rain cover off and I'm good. But it'll also help my seat last longer. Now they're getting ready to close this section. I've complained about this before. But this area right here is just miserable. Ooh, these guys down here are stupid. I don't know what's going on, but they're all over. I don't know what that guy's doing, but whew. His car did not smell good. It smelled like burnt oil. I wonder if he blew something. Okay, I'm hoping you caught that. I'm going to change my topic, I guess, to how to put your heart back into place after watching people swerve to miss a car that mysteriously stopped and didn't hit his brakes until after he had stopped. And very hard braking on most people's parts. I was lucky I was far enough back I saw it happening. I was not part of it, but wow. That happened at speed, buddy. Okay. We are back to what we were talking about before. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here. Alright, what we were talking about before is what events do you choose to go to? Every year I go to the Ocean City Bike Fest because it's only a couple of hours away. It's 100 miles. I can stay either on the beach or near the beach. I don't have to be on the beach, but I do prefer on the beach, but it's ridiculous expensive. So I've got to figure that part out. But some of the farther ones, like I would love to go down to Daytona, but I don't have the money to take the trip to Daytona, spend, you know, even just spend a weekend down there. And I know a lot of people, I'm going to drive my truck, I put my bike in the back, I put it in the trailer, I will take the train car down, take the train car back. It's not far from here, but it's like $700 round trip, I think, for taking a bike. And if I did that, I'd want to take my wife. But if I'm paying that, it's like, okay, we're gonna have to go down on a Friday, come back on a Monday. So either one of us is taking at least a day, if not 2 days of leave. And we only have so many days a year that you can take. Yes, I book a lot of mine, so I have more than enough. Because I work for the government forever. But I like taking my leave in other ways than that. Plus, like my trip, I'm taking this trip, and I haven't figured out the money. I've got to talk to Iron Butt Association because I want to make sure that I'm giving people a good quote on numbers. It's like, it's under $70 for the full thing where you get everything. But I want to find out, do I have to pay that for both? Because we're going down. You have people who might not have the 1,000 mile, so they'd get the 1,000 mile and the 15 in the same trip. Well, on Monday, because we're driving down on Friday, we'll get there on Saturday. I'm hoping under 30 hours, but 36 is how many hours we have. I'm sorry, I can't see us doing this in 24 hours. I've got it set up a little different. I'll talk about that in a minute. But we sit there and we go, okay, we're going to run down, we're going to hit the places we need to hit, we're going to end in Key West Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, spend Sunday night in Key West. I don't care where you stay wherever you want. I know where I'm going to be staying. So off season, I'll be able to stay at a military base. I'm grateful I can't get non-military on it, unless you're staying with me in my room, but you can't really see wanting people to stay in my room with me. I like my privacy. And I'll be real flippant and tired and kind of cranky that day. But the 120th is this year. That's up in Milwaukee. You have Sturgis. I have friends who are going to Sturgis. I just I can't afford to do all of these. I would love to. I cannot justify that, and I am not charging people who watch my channel so that I can go do these trips. Now, I say that with a little hesitation. The reason why, I might need to ask people to help me pay for this trip. Now, if you would like to do something like that, I would gladly take the money. But I'm not asking people to pay for the channel. But what I'd be asking is a donation. The Poor David Fund. You know, like a tank of gas. Maybe a mill. Something like that. The reason why is I'm trying to do this as inexpensively for everybody as possible. I'm not asking you to do this for everybody. Everybody can figure out their own ways to pay it. But I don't want this channel to become a money-making device. Will I start selling patches and stuff? Yeah. If you buy those, that will make me money. Everything I make, I will give a percentage. I don't know what the percentage is, but I will give a percentage to charity. Now, the charity I give it to is not a girl named Charity, though I do know a girl named Charity. It's actually her name. Her parents have no sense of humor. But I will be giving it to some military charity, more than likely disabled American vets, wounded warriors, or the USO. Veterans of Foreign Wars, one of those, because those are the ones that I deal with the most. Now, if you happen to, around Christmas time, listen, you'll hear me talk about Toys for Tots and stuff like that, but that's something totally different. And that's probably because I put on a red suit and I have a white beard. I am curious. What do you guys do? Where do you guys go? What locations are your favorite motorcycle get-togethers? I know when I was in Texas, the big one I liked was the Green Cycle Days, where Green Harley Davidson in Green, Texas, just outside of New Braunfels, would have a really big event. It was great. They had bikini bike wash, you had a soda stand, you had new motorcycles, you had rides, you had a bikini contest, you had a strongman contest, you had a motorcycle contest, all kinds of stuff. And I'm not even mentioning half of it. It was an open house, and it wasn't just for Harleys. When I went to that, I was on my VTX 1300R, which was a Honda. I put dang near 100,000 miles on that. That was a great, fun bike. People ask me the names of my bike. That bike was known as Red. Never really named it. I've had a couple of people give my bike names. I think the one that has me laughing the most right now is Pod. I go, why Pod? He goes, because that is your pod, that you live on that thing. When you go trips, you have all your stuff with you. It is your shuttle pod. I was like, oh, interesting.